2. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Okay. So, hello everybody. It's Sharana Patrice, and I'm going live tonight. Wanted to do my midweek check-in, even though it's Thursday. So, tonight I want to talk to you guys about being productive versus being busy. So that's tonight's topic. Going live also for the first time on Instagram. So I'm going to try this out. Okay, so if you are with me, if you're there, let me know that you're here. Go ahead and wave to me. You know, I don't like when you're sneaky, so wave to me, say hello. Let me know where you're joining me from, okay, so I can say hello back. And if you're on Instagram, go ahead and put some comments in here. Just say hello to me, wave so I can see that you're here, okay? So tonight, I wanted to talk to you guys about being productive versus being busy. So, this whole month of January, you know, the theme is about setting up for success. So, this week's quick tip was about pressing go, which means taking action. Okay. So, hey, I see you. Hey, Auntie, I see you. I don't know how to reply on here. I don't know how to reply. But I see you. I see you. So tonight I want to talk about being productive because this week's tip was pressing go. So pressing go is about taking action, all right? Taking steps towards those goals. But I wanted to talk to you guys about being productive versus being busy because I think a lot of times when we're busy, we can interpret that as being productive. But busy doesn't necessarily mean productive, okay? So if you are here, like I said before, go ahead and put some comments in there. Say hello. Wave to me so that I know that you're here and let me know where you're joining from, okay? And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Sharana Patrice, and I am the go-to empowerment and lifestyle coach who teaches women how to follow their passions so that they can build a life that they think is impossible. And I'm going live because I wanted to talk to you guys about this setting up for success and how you can be productive to get to these goals versus being busy, okay? So before we get into it, though, if you are not subscribed and you want to know about the notifications and when I go live, go ahead and click on the I think there's a little like button, so you can I think like and follow or something like that, or like, and if you do that, it'll turn on the notifications. So go ahead and turn on your notifications so that you'll know when I go live. Okay, I usually go live typically on Wednesdays, do my midweek check-in, but tonight I'm going live on Thursday, so that way you'll be aware. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so busy versus being productive. Okay, so I know a lot of you think that when you are doing a whole bunch of different things at one time, it feels like you are being productive, okay? But busy and productive are not the same thing. So busy can look like a whole bunch of things that create movement or looks like movement, but at the end of the day, nothing is getting done. Okay, so like busy could be something like, I'm going to clean out my email box. Okay. Or you really should be working on your business, or you really should be, let's say, maybe studying for an exam or something like that. But instead of you doing that, you're walking around cleaning your house, or you're, paying bills. Now, not that these things are not important, but they are busy things. They're not adding to the overall goal, okay? So you have to keep in mind what is the goal that you're trying to accomplish, okay? And busy sometimes disguises itself as being productive, okay? Because you're just doing all these things, and at the end of the day, you ever do a whole bunch of things or pretend to multitask? And I say pretend because multitasking really isn't, people think that they're multitasking, but you really can only focus on one thing at a time. But you're doing all these things and you're running around all day, and then at the end of the day, you lay down in bed and you're like, what did I do today? What did I get accomplished today? That's probably because you have been doing mostly busy things or busy work, okay? So busy doesn't necessarily equate to productive. So for me, what productive looks like is, let's just say you have a goal of, let's say you want to invest in real estate, or maybe you want to, let's say you want to get like a graduate degree or something like that, or maybe you want to get a degree or enroll in a school, and you haven't done one thing towards that goal. So productive could look something like, okay, maybe you do research on the types of schools that actually offer the program that you're interested in, right? Maybe you narrow down, okay, do you want to go to school? Do you want to actually physically attend classes? Do you want to go to a university or school that's in your local area? Or would you prefer to do online? Does that work better for you, right? So you're going to do research to get to the bottom of what are the schools that can actually accommodate you in your lifestyle. So that research that you put in for that is productive, okay? Now, if you, let's just say you start doing that. So you do your research, and then let's say the next thing is, well, now you need to narrow down, okay, what are the steps that I need to do to even apply, right, for the school? So you need to get to the bottom of, well, is there a fee that's involved for the application process? Are there prerequisites like classes, certain grades, like those sorts of things? So all those things that you're doing add to the end goal of, I want to go to get this degree, or I want to enroll in this school, okay? So when you fill your day with things that aren't necessarily in alignment with that, that is busy work. Okay, so you have to really distinguish between when you're doing something, is this adding to the overall goal, or is it just something for you to do? Okay, and the way that you can start narrowing that down is you can ask yourself questions like, does this thing that I'm doing, does it add value? Okay, it does it, and if it does, how so? Like, is it contributing to the overall goal? Is it getting you the information that you need to get to the end result? Is it, and if let's just say it's not necessarily going to bring you the end result right away, but is taking this step getting you closer to where you want to be? Okay, so you have to assess that. Is it getting you closer to where you want to be? Okay, because cleaning out your email and organizing your files and cleaning off your desk, those are all very great and well things. Like those are things that need to be done. But if you have a limited amount of time and you want to feel like you are making progress towards your goals, you have to start doing things that are productive, not busy, productive. Okay, so one of the things that I strongly suggest you do is, I'm all about simplifying my life. Okay, I get very overwhelmed when there's a whole bunch of things to do, or if you have like a big thing to accomplish, you have to break it down, okay? Hey, Erica, I see you. I don't know how to wave back, so bear with me. I'm going live for the first time on here, so I don't know how to say hello. But I see you, so I just don't see how to respond. But yeah, so basically you want to make sure that you are breaking things down, simplifying, because I know for me, I get very overwhelmed when there's like a huge task that needs to be accomplished, okay? So you want to try to simplify, and how you do that is you just focus on one thing at a time. One thing at a time, okay? So you can break it out for the week, just have one major thing that you want to accomplish each day, okay? Now, my magic number is 3. I feel like 3 should be the max, but when you are feeling overwhelmed, or you feel like, okay, I'm doing all these things and nothing's working, exactly, baby steps. Yeah, I'm doing, just for those of you who don't know, it's not that I'm not looking at you, I'm doing Facebook and Instagram, so I'm doing both. So I'm trying to align them up, but they're not really aligned, so bear with me, okay? But I do see you, okay? But yeah, so you want to break down all the steps into small, like 1 to 3. But I would say focus on one thing at a time. Pick one thing, one productive thing that you can do every day, okay? So it would be like the top thing that you want to accomplish, all right? So again, this is how you can assess if it's productive. Is it adding value, okay? Is it bringing you closer to the end result, right? So we talked about doing the research. That's going to bring you closer to the end result, right? Cleaning off your desk is not going to bring you closer to getting to the school that you want to go to, okay? Organizing your files is not going to, help you understand what properties of real estate you should invest in, or like how you should approach that. That's not going to help you do that, right? Those are all things that need to be done, but they're not productive things. They're busy things, okay? And then the third thing, Oh, also, is another way you can assess is it does it make you money? Is it earning you money? That's another way you can figure that out. So this is, I'm speaking specifically for people maybe who have businesses, or if it's not earning money in that specific moment, is doing that thing going to bring you closer to a sale or a client, or some sort of engagement where you will be adding income? Okay, so those are the things you need to be thinking about, whatever the end goal is. Okay, how is this thing that you are spending hours or whatever time on, is it adding to the larger goal? Okay, so you want to be productive, not busy, because I'm telling you, it looks, so sometimes you feel like you're just doing all these things and you're tackling things every day, but nothing seems to be getting accomplished. It's because you're probably not focusing on what is productive. Okay, so focusing on one thing at a time, simplifying it, and I would say focus on the top thing. If you get that number one thing done, move on to the next day's one thing. Okay, so that's how I would approach it in the beginning. If you feel like there's a lot to do, remember I talked about chunking it down. Chunk it down into smaller steps. For me, this is very, very helpful. You don't eat a steak in one bite. Okay, so this is the same way you have to approach the goals, and also think about what it is that you're doing and how are you spending your time. That is very true, Erica. She said some people are use busy work as a way to avoid productivity out of fear. That's true. So, and it's true, it's very distracting, right? Like, again, like if you have an office in your house, let's say, you can be cleaning when you're supposed to be writing on your blog, or updating your website, or creating content, right? Or like I said, if you want to enroll in a school, you should be researching schools, or maybe you need to be looking into the programs for each of these schools. Maybe you've now narrowed them down, but like, okay, what do they offer? What is the best program for you? But instead of you doing that, you're organizing your cabinets, or I don't know. You're doing things that probably need to get done, but is it adding to the larger goal? It's really not adding, right? So you want to make sure you're being productive, okay? No, I'm talking, if this is resonating with you, then yes, I'm talking specifically to you. I'm not talking about any specific person. I'm just telling you that I know that I have often found myself in this space of being busy. You are doing busy things, you are moving around, and there's like not enough time in the day, but it's literally how you break out your day and what are you doing with your time. And then also, that's another thing. Think about how you're spending your time. I would challenge you to just take a day, like start tomorrow. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? Like, write out your whole entire schedule, like from the time you get up. What's the first thing that you do, right? Do you eat breakfast? Do you take a shower? The second thing you do you make your bed? Do you pack your lunch? Like, what is it that you're doing? So actually document how you're spending your time. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do X, Y, and Z. But if you really, really start looking at your day, you probably have a lot more time in your schedule than you think you do. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like, for right now, I'm not really watching TV. Like, one of my guilty pleasures is to watch my reality shows. I love my reality shows. It's just like my thing because it helps me to decompress, or like a show that I've taped or whatever. But there's a limit to that. So, like, but if you're spending hours and hours and hours watching TV, or I don't know, hours and hours like taking naps, all day, when you really need to be doing other things, then that's where you can adjust your time about being productive, right? So you have to really think about what is it that you're trying to accomplish and what's the easiest way to get there. So this is about simplifying your life, breaking things down, and putting them into small bite-sized pieces, things that you can do, small little things, one step at a time. Okay, so that's the main thing, focusing on one thing at a time. And then what is it that, like, when you are questioning whether or not it's productive, ask yourself those questions. Is it adding value? Is it getting me closer to the result that I want? Is it making me money? Is it adding more clients? Is it is it contributing to the larger goal? Okay, so that's what I want you guys to focus on. Who's taking naps for, I don't know who's taking naps for hours, but I'm sure there's people out here who take hours of naps or watching hours and hours of TV. I don't know what you're doing, but there's a lots of ways that you can be using your time to be productive. So when you're saying that, you don't have enough time, is it really that you don't have enough time, or is it how you're using your time? Okay. And then this last thing that I want to make a point about, which I know you're probably going to be very shocked that I'm about to say this, because I just talked about, pressing go and taking action. But sometimes in order to be productive, are you ready? You ready? You ready? You have to do nothing. Nothing. No. Sometimes you just have to cut it. So in order for you to be more productive, sometimes you have to kind of shut it down and assess, okay, what is happening? What am I doing? Where am I focusing my energy? Just shut it down for a second. Okay, so that you can, because I think a lot of times it's, you have to give yourself a minute. And I know there are people who feel like if they're not constantly moving, if they're not constantly doing something, that like they feel lazy, or they're not grinding and hustling. I don't think it needs to look like that in order for you to be productive. Okay. So, and I'm not saying, just do nothing, like just throw in the towel, just all week, just do nothing. I'm just saying in moments where you feel like you need to take a pause, or you feel like you're doing a lot of things and then you don't see results, maybe you need to just stop for a second. Seriously, stop for a second and just assess where you're at. And again, look at your time. Like, how are you spending your day? What are you doing with your time? Okay. Is it really that you don't have time, or is it that you're doing things that are not in alignment with the larger goal? Okay. So now again, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying just do nothing. Absolutely. Just like shut it down and just move on with your life and do nothing. I'm saying in moments where you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like the things that you are doing are not adding value, you need to maybe pause, stop, and assess to see what it is that you're actually doing, where it is that you're actually spending your time. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to end this. If you have comments, go ahead and put them in, or questions. Feel free to ask. If you, even on Instagram here, I'm not sure where you would put those or whatever, because this is my first time doing this, like I said, but I can see comments in here if you put them in, and then I'm going to go ahead and save these videos so that I can go back and answer your questions. If you have anything that you want to ask, you can go ahead and please put them in the comments, or you can send me a DM. If you have questions about coaching, or you want to set up a consult, feel free to click on the link in the caption. You can schedule a free pulse check call with me, and we can talk about, how you can be more productive, or how you can, start breaking down some of these things, these tasks, into smaller steps. Okay. If you like this video and you feel like it's helpful and it could help somebody else, please do click the share button, tag a friend, let them know, pass it along. Okay. So that you can share the love, because sharing is caring. All right. We share the love around here. And if you have any other topics that you feel like you want me to touch upon or want me to talk about, please go ahead and put them in the comments. Okay. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. And like I said, if you want to know when I'm going live, please go ahead and click on the notification so that you can see when I am going to go live. Like I said, typically it's on Wednesday or Thursday evening. I do a midweek check-in, and I talk about topics that I feel like are helpful to you. If there are things you want to hear about, please go ahead and put them in the comments or let me know. All right. So in the meantime, have a great night, and I will see you all in the next video. Okay.